Well, good morning, Gators. It is Tuesday, April 28th, 2020, and here is your math for today. One thing I want to go over first, though, is we don't want to make sure that we are just struggling through the math, that we are just kind of going through it as fast as we can and just writing random numbers down, as I saw happen yesterday, especially on the quiz. Now, I can understand that the quiz was a little bit confusing, and I do apologize for that, so I will take ownership of that today or yesterday. But today we need to try our best, and I'm noticing that a lot of you aren't actually watching the video and then asking for help. So you need to watch the video first, because I kind of go over everything the best I can from afar, and just want to make sure that you guys are being as successful as possible. So make sure to watch the video. So let me switch to my iPad. There we go. And the first one on our daily math review, we are looking at 4 2/3 times 3 4/9. Now remember, on this one, we don't want to just multiply straight across. There are two different things we can do. We could change these to improper fractions and then multiply it, or we can break these apart and use the FOIL method. I know my class, we talked about what to do on there, and if you're not sure what that is, feel free to use the tool that you have in your hand, the internet, on your iPad. So make sure to check that. Number 2, we are doing some more multiplication of decimals and then division of decimals. Number 3, what type of angle is angle CAB? Is angle CAB acute, obtuse, or right? Remember, if it's saying it's CAB, that's saying it's this angle here, Whoops. I was even going backwards. My apologies. There we go. It's angle CAB. So make sure you're looking at the proper angle on that one. Number 5, reduce 144ths to its simplest form. Remember, that means to divide the numerator and denominator by the same number until you cannot reduce it any further. Number 5, Zach's dad will travel from Boston, Massachusetts to Richmond, Virginia. The trip is about 600 miles. About how fast will Zach's dad have to drive to get there in 10 1/4 hours? And about how many miles per hour, and to show your work. On the daily word problem, it's day 2 about saving some money. It says that Antonio is earning money by painting both sides of the fence along with the side of his house. The fence is 15 yards long and 2 feet tall. His parents will pay 25 cents for every square foot of fencing that he paints. How much money will Antonio earn by painting the fence? So on this one here, we want to make sure that we are first figuring out how many square feet the fence is, and then after that you're going to decide how much money he will make. So don't just sit there and think, oh, I'm gonna do 2 times 25 cents. No, make sure you're getting the square feet of the fence first and then the money. But there is one thing I want to point out. The fence is 15 yards long by 2 yards tall. And then he is going to get 25 cents for every square foot. So I made those 2 different colors for a reason, because they don't match up. So you're going to need to figure that one out. Now on to our math today. We are going back to finish up our swimming competition. Now this part here, I heard some people are having a little bit of struggles with it. I'm not exactly sure why or how. I didn't get very many questions on this, but remember, if you do have questions, you need to ask us. We are here to help you. We are not here to do it for you, but we're here to help you through it. So today, you are going to organize 4 swimmers at a time from the top 8 finishers. Now, top 8 finishers, that's these right here. These are the top 8 finishers. You are going to select 4 swimmers at a time from the top 8 finishers and complete 2 different matchup charts for the swimmers. Then calculate differences between swimmers' times in rounds 1 and round 2 to find out who wins. So on number 1, you are going to write in 4 different swimmers. So here's swimmer 1, swimmer 2, swimmer 3, swimmer 4. Now remember, that means names and time. Just like we had to do on the first spot yesterday, we need to put the swimmer in and the time, and then you're going to calculate to see who wins all the way down to the final, and then you are going to do show the math down here again. So there's round 1, so this is round 1, and then round 2 goes here with the final underneath it. Excuse me. So then you're going to do the same thing again for number 2. So if you didn't use them up there, you're going to use them down here. So here's going to be number 5, number 6, number 7, and number 8. And you're going to complete the chart a second time, doing the exact same thing you did above. You're just going to do it with the other 4 swimmers that you did below, or that you didn't use the first time. Again, select 4 swimmers at a time from the top 8 finishers. Remember, the top 8 finishers right here. And complete 2 different matchup charts for the swimmers. Then calculate the differences between the swimmers' times in rounds 1 and round 2 to figure out who wins. Once we are done with that, we are going to complete these tables down here for the matchups in section A and B. Now section A, that was this one. This was from yesterday's. Now if you didn't fill out the chart yesterday, you're going to need to do it today. If you did fill it out yesterday and you did it correctly, then you can just copy and paste it down here. Now remember, there was something missing here, which was PD's time, and PD's name was missing here, so we need to write it down there. And then Baladin's time was missing. We would have to write it in. And then again, we need to make sure we have the name along with the time there. That's how we fill out these charts. We don't just put random things in here. And then once we have that, so Franca, the time was 59 and 0.38. So I'm gonna write 59.38. And we are going to record the difference between each swimmer's time and the winning time in the matchup. So not between each other, we're taking their time and the winning time. So to find this number out right here that we're going to have to put in, I'm actually going to need to do this 59.38 minus 57.13. So I'm going to just go off to the side. 59.38 minus 57.13. 8 minus 3 is 5. 3 minus 1 is 2. Drop my decimal. 9 minus 7 is 2. And 5 minus 5 is 0. So I have 2.25. And then I'm going to write that in right over here. And let me actually make that just a hair bigger. 2.25. Then you're going to need to figure out Baladin's time, which, let's go to the top here. Baladin's time was 59.95. And we would write it in. And then again, we're going to do that 59.95 minus the winning time, which is 57.13, and then we are going to put it in here. So I know that sounds a little confusing, but if you just slow down a bit, watch what I just said, watch what I just did, and you'll get it, I promise you. Now the next thing, you're going to do it for the 2 charts you made. So here's chart 1. That's going to go with this, where you are going to put the 4 winners, the 4 names, you're going to put their country, and then you're going to put their time, and whoever won, you're just going to make this line, because there is no difference between them and the winning time, because they're the winners. And then you're just going to fill out the chart the rest of the way with their times and the differences, just like we did up here. That is it. And that is it for the math today. Again, if you guys need help, you need to reach out and ask us for help. That's why we are here. This is not made to last you guys all that long. So let's get in. Let's get it done. Let's make sure that we are asking for help from our teachers. Remember, that means if you're in my class, you come to me first. If you're in Miss Matthews' class, you go to Miss Matthews first. If you're in Mr. Moore's, you go to Mr. Moore's first. And then, if needed, then you would contact me because I'm doing the math. If needed, you would contact Miss Matthews because you're in, or because she's doing the ELA, and Mr. Moore for the science. But we hope you guys have a good Tuesday morning and a good Tuesday day, good Tuesday evening. Make sure you guys are staying safe. And remember, as always, it is great to be a Gator.